Welcome back to Everyday English Pod. Today we're taking a close look at something we all experience in our professional lives, those initial interactions and, the ongoing conversations that really shape our workplace.
Exactly. We've got a fascinating set of dialogues here. Think of it as, well, eavesdropping maybe, in the best possible way on a new sales manager, Tom Johnson, and a marketing coordinator, Mary Lee, both at XYZ Corporation. What can we learn by really sort of dissecting how they communicate? That's our mission today.
Okay, so the first exchange is a classic meet and greet. Tom Johnson introduces himself by saying, "Good morning. My name is Tom Johnson, and I'm the new sales manager at XYZ Corporation. It's a pleasure to meet you." It's straightforward and polite, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And Mary Lee mirrors that professionalism with, "Hello, Mr. Johnson. I'm Mary Lee, the marketing coordinator. It's nice to formally introduce myself." That phrase, "nice to formally introduce myself," it signals a level of respect and adherence to workplace etiquette that's quite common in American business settings.
Yeah, what struck me was how quickly they both moved towards the idea of working together. Tom mentions being excited to be part of the team and look forward to working closely with the marketing department. And Mary Lee immediately echoes that, saying she's sure they'll have plenty of opportunities to collaborate. It's like they're both signaling, hey, we're on the same team here.
That's a key insight right there. Notice how both Tom and Mary immediately signal a desire to collaborate. This proactive emphasis on teamwork early on is a crucial element in building effective working relationships in American companies. Tom then takes it a step further by stating his goal to strengthen the relationship between sales and marketing through open communication and teamwork. It's a clear statement of intent, setting a collaborative tone right from the jump.
Right. And Mary Lee's response, "That's an excellent approach. I'm confident we can find ways to align our strategies and deliver outstanding results for the company," really cements that early alignment. It's not just polite agreement. She's actively contributing to the shared goal.
Exactly. It shows a shared understanding of the importance of their departments working in sync. Tom then encourages Mary to share any ideas or concerns, offering his support. Mary agrees to keep him in the loop on our upcoming campaigns. This establishes an immediate channel for information flow.
Which leads directly to them agreeing to schedule a meeting the following week to dig into marketing initiatives and discuss how sales can contribute. It's not just talk. They're taking concrete steps towards collaboration.
Precisely. That follow-up action is so important. And they wrap up with a polite, "It was a pleasure meeting you," reinforcing that positive first impression. It's a concise yet effective way to lay the groundwork for their future interactions. So a key takeaway here is the speed, really, at which they establish a collaborative intent and move towards concrete action.
Okay, so conversation 2 gives us a peek into their professional journeys. Mary shares her background, starting with a passion for creativity and communications, leading to a marketing degree and a stint at a small agency. What stood out to you there?
Well, the agency experience is significant. She mentions content creation, digital marketing, event planning. This demonstrates a breadth of experience, a well-rounded skill set that's highly valued in marketing.
Yeah.
It suggests she's not just siloed in one specific area.
And then she talks about her 3 years at XYZ Corp, highlighting how she's taken on more strategic responsibilities. That suggests growth within the company, right?
Exactly. It shows she's not just executing tasks, but is now involved in higher-level planning and decision-making. And her proudest accomplishment, the rebrand executed the previous year, that's a significant feather in her cap.
Yeah.
Rebranding is a complex undertaking with high visibility.
Definitely sounds like it. When Tom shares his journey, he mentions starting in retail sales after college, but finding his real interest in what he calls B2B sales because of the consultative approach and relationship building aspects. For someone less familiar, what's the key difference in that consultative approach compared to, say, selling directly to individuals?
That's a great question. In business-to-business or B2B sales, you're typically dealing with other professionals who have specific needs and often a, deeper understanding of their own business. The consultative approach means you're acting more like a partner or advisor, understanding their challenges and tailoring solutions rather than just, pushing a product. Relationship building becomes crucial for long-term partnerships.
That makes sense. He's been in sales management for 7 years, the last 3 at XYZ Corp. He also mentions being eager to learn about Mary's marketing initiatives. It seems like he's coming in with a genuine curiosity and respect for what marketing does.
Absolutely. And Mary's suggestion to discuss it further over coffee is a classic example of informal networking in American business culture. It's a relaxed setting that can foster more open communication and help build rapport beyond just the formal work context.
Conversation 3 gets right to the heart of their potential collaboration: sales and marketing alignment. Tom expresses his eagerness for closer teamwork, specifically around lead generation and wanting marketing's insights on effective channels and messaging. This seems like a natural first point of connection, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a very common and often critical area where sales and marketing really need to be on the same page. Poor lead generation, or a disconnect between how marketing qualifies leads and how sales follows up, can be a major pain point for companies. Mary offers valuable input based on recent research, highlighting that a mix of targeted social media ads and content marketing tends to work well for generating qualified leads. Notice she's backing her suggestions with data, or at least the idea of research.
And Tom's response shows he's not just looking for a general overview. He wants the specific tactics and metrics. He wants to know what exactly is working and how it's being measured.
Exactly. That level of detail is crucial for sales. They need to know what kind of leads they're getting and, what the conversion rates are. Mary's offer to prepare a brief presentation is a professional and efficient way to address this request. It shows she's organized and prepared to share data.
And they decide to meet for lunch later in the week to continue the discussion, again opting for a slightly more informal setting. Plus, Mary suggests bringing in the digital marketing manager and content strategist. Why do you think that's a smart move?
It shows she understands the value of diverse perspectives within her team. The digital marketing manager will have insights into the technical aspects of online lead generation, while the content strategist can speak to the effectiveness of different messaging. It's about bringing in the right expertise to have a more comprehensive discussion. Tom's agreement that the more input, the better, reinforces his commitment to teamwork and valuing different viewpoints. They both express confidence in identifying high-impact initiatives, ending the conversation on a positive and forward-looking note. This kind of shared optimism can be really motivating for future collaboration.
Our fourth conversation shifts to how they both stay sharp, professional development. Mary talks about staying updated on industry trends by attending conferences and webinars. What's the significance of actively seeking out this kind of information in a field like marketing?
Well, marketing is a field that changes incredibly rapidly, with new technologies and evolving consumer behaviors constantly emerging. Staying updated is not just about personal growth. It's crucial for staying competitive and effective in her role. She specifically mentions learning about emerging strategies and technologies, highlighting this dynamic nature. Her recommendations of the Marketing Land newsletter and Harvard Business Review are also valuable, concrete examples of resources covering a wide range of marketing topics, from the practical to the strategic.
Yeah, it's great to get some tangible resources our listeners can maybe check out. Mary also mentions completing a digital marketing certification program focusing on SEO, PPC, and marketing automation. For someone who might be less familiar, could you briefly explain what those areas entail and why they're important in today's marketing landscape?
Absolutely. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, which is all about making a website more visible in search engine results. PPC is pay-per-click advertising, where you pay a fee each time your ad is clicked. And marketing automation involves using software to automate repetitive marketing tasks like email campaigns and social media posting, freeing up marketers to focus on strategy. These are all critical components of modern digital marketing, helping companies reach their target audiences efficiently and effectively. Mary getting certified in these areas demonstrates a commitment to mastering these essential skills.
When Tom mentions he's looking to improve his skills in negotiation and what he calls consultative selling, going back to that idea, Mary is quick to suggest sales training programs offered by the Association of International Product Marketing and Management. That's a very specific and helpful recommendation.
Exactly. It shows she's not just thinking within her own marketing bubble, but is also aware of resources that could benefit her colleague in sales.
Yeah.
And then she offers her own marketing perspective as a sounding board for Tom's ideas. This kind of cross-functional support and knowledge sharing is really a hallmark of a strong professional relationship. They both seem to recognize that professional development is an ongoing process and express enthusiasm for their continued collaboration.
Conversation 5 dives into the ever-shifting landscape of marketing trends. Mary kicks off by discussing the growing importance of personalization and hyper-targeting. What's driving this shift towards more tailored experiences for consumers?
Well, a big part of it is the sheer volume of information consumers are exposed to every single day. To cut through the noise, marketing needs to be highly relevant. Data and artificial intelligence now allow companies to understand individual customer preferences and behaviors much more deeply, enabling them to deliver more personalized messages and offers. Mary's example of dynamic email marketing campaigns using customer segmentation and real-time data really illustrates this in action, and the increased open and click-through rates she mentions speak to its effectiveness.
So it's about making the marketing feel less like a mass broadcast and more like a one-on-one conversation. Is that fair?
Precisely. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Another key trend Mary highlights is the rise of influencer marketing and its potential to reach new audiences through trusted voices.
We hear a lot about influencer marketing. What makes it such a powerful tool, do you think?
When done well, influencer marketing leverages the credibility and existing audience of individuals who have built trust with a specific niche. This can be particularly effective for reaching younger demographics or building brand awareness in a way that feels more authentic than traditional advertising. Mary sharing the positive results from their influencer campaigns, strong engagement and conversion rates, plus boosts in brand awareness and credibility for new product launches really underscores its impact.
It's interesting that she also outlines their process for vetting influencers, looking at audience fit, engagement metrics, and alignment with our brand values. That sounds like a critical step to avoid potential pitfalls.
Absolutely. Just partnering with anyone who has a large following isn't enough. Ensuring the influencer's audience aligns with your target market and that their values don't clash with your brand is crucial for a successful and, frankly, ethical partnership. This whole conversation really highlights how modern marketing is increasingly data-driven, personalized, and focused on building authentic connections.
Moving into conversation 6, they tackle some of the real-world challenges facing marketing today. Mary's first point is navigating the shifting consumer privacy landscape. This is something we hear about a lot in the news. How is it impacting marketers on a day-to-day basis?
It's forcing marketers to be much more thoughtful and transparent about how they collect and use consumer data. Regulations like GDPR in Europe and similar initiatives elsewhere are pushing companies to prioritize data privacy and obtain clear consent. Mary mentions their more intentional approach to data collection and usage, emphasizing transparency and consent.
Right.
The fact that customers have mostly been appreciative, even though it requires rethinking targeting and personalization, suggests that consumers are increasingly aware of and concerned about their privacy.
It sounds like it requires a delicate balance between effective marketing and, respecting individual rights.
Exactly. This leads to their exploration of innovative tactics, like contextual and behavioral-based approaches, which focus on delivering relevant ads based on the content a user is currently viewing or their recent online behavior, rather than relying heavily on personal data profiles. The second major challenge Mary brings up is the increasing importance of sustainability and social responsibility in marketing. How is this shift influencing marketing strategies?
It seems like consumers are increasingly expecting brands to stand for something beyond just their products or services.
That's absolutely right. There's a growing demand for companies to be environmentally and socially conscious. Mary details how they've had to rethink various aspects of their operations, from content creation that promotes sustainable practices to choosing suppliers with ethical sourcing standards. Highlighting the benefits, such as resonating with customers and boosting employee engagement, shows that these initiatives are not just about doing good, but can also have a positive impact on the bottom line. It sounds like these challenges are not just obstacles, but also opportunities for innovation and building stronger, more values-driven brand connections. They both seem to agree that collaboration across different departments will be key in navigating these evolving industry dynamics.
Our 7th conversation turns to their individual career goals. Mary shares her ambition to move into strategic leadership, mentioning roles like marketing director or CMO. What kind of skills and experiences are typically needed to make that kind of jump?
Well, to move into those senior leadership roles, a deep understanding of data analytics becomes crucial for making informed strategic decisions. Cross-functional collaboration is also key, as you need to work effectively with all parts of the organization. A broader business perspective beyond just marketing is essential, along with strong project management and networking skills, and of course, staying on top of industry knowledge. Mary's awareness of these required skills shows she's thinking strategically about her career progression.
Yeah, definitely. When Tom shares his career aspirations, he mentions wanting to transition to a general management role, leveraging his diverse experience in sales and operations. It sounds like he's looking to broaden his impact as well.
Exactly. He enjoys the strategic elements of his current role and wants to continue expanding his business acumen. It's interesting to see how both individuals are thinking strategically about their career paths and identifying the necessary steps for growth. The fact that they offer each other encouragement and support further solidifies their professional relationship. It highlights the value of having those kinds of supportive connections in the workplace.
Conversation 8 tackles the ever-important topic of work-life balance. Mary emphasizes its significance for long-term success and fulfillment. Why do you think this is becoming an increasingly prominent discussion in professional settings?
There's a growing recognition that burnout can significantly impact productivity and overall well-being. Companies are also realizing that supporting work-life balance can improve employee retention and morale. Mary shares some practical strategies she uses, like time blocking, mindful communication habits, and setting boundaries. These are all actionable tips that, our listeners can consider.
Tom, as a sales manager with what's often a demanding schedule, acknowledges the challenges. His strategies include intentional routines, prioritizing exercise, trying to leave work at the office, and taking regular vacations. It's interesting how they both have different approaches but are both actively working on this.
Exactly. It highlights that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. They both recognize that investing in well-being ultimately benefits the organization and stress the importance of fostering a culture around work-life balance. It's a reminder that productivity and personal well-being are interconnected, and companies that support this tend to have happier and more effective employees.
Our ninth conversation delves into the company culture at XYZ Corp. Mary describes it as collaborative and innovative, with a strong emphasis on cross-functional teamwork. We've certainly seen evidence of that in their interactions, haven't we?
Yes, that emphasis on breaking down silos and encouraging interdepartmental cooperation seems to be a real strength. It often leads to more creative problem solving and a greater sense of shared purpose across the organization. She also mentions the company's commitment to continuous learning and professional development through workshops, courses, and mentorship. This reinforces the growth-oriented culture we've touched on earlier.
And she attributes the low employee turnover to this positive culture, which speaks volumes. She also highlights the emphasis on corporate social responsibility through sustainability and community engagement programs. Why is CSR becoming such an important part of company culture these days?
Well, for many employees, especially younger generations, working for a company that aligns with their values is a significant factor in their job satisfaction. CSR initiatives can foster a sense of purpose and pride among employees, making them feel like they're contributing to something bigger than just profit. Mary also mentions the leadership team's crucial role in upholding these cultural values, which is essential for ensuring that the stated culture is actually lived within the organization. It's clear that company culture is a significant and valued aspect of XYZ Corp.
Finally, our 10th conversation looks ahead to the future of marketing and sales. Mary predicts an increased importance of data-driven decision-making and marketing automation, and how this will lead to even closer integration between sales and marketing. What does this mean for professionals in these fields?
It means that having strong analytical skills and an understanding of marketing technologies will become even more critical. Sales professionals will likely need to be more comfortable with data insights provided by marketing, and the lines between the two functions might continue to blur, requiring a more unified approach to the customer journey. Mary also points to a growing emphasis on sustainability and social impact, requiring brands to authentically weave these priorities into their operations. This could lead to the rise of specialized marketing roles focused on these areas.
It's fascinating to think about these evolving roles requiring a really diverse skill set. Mary also touches on the potential of immersive technologies like AR and VR to create new and interactive customer experiences, which sounds like it will require entirely new creative and technical skills.
Absolutely. The conversation paints a picture of future marketing and sales professionals needing to be adaptable, multifaceted, and possessing a holistic understanding of business, technology, and social responsibility. They'll need to be part data scientist, part social activist, part business strategist, a really interesting blend.
So reflecting on these conversations, what are some of the key takeaways about professional communication and workplace dynamics in American English?
Well, we've seen the importance of clear and direct communication, but also the value of politeness and building rapport. The emphasis on collaboration and teamwork comes through strongly, as does the need for continuous learning and adapting to industry changes. We also observed how informal interactions, like coffee or lunch, can play a significant role in fostering professional relationships.
And it's interesting how these seemingly everyday conversations touch on so many critical aspects of business, from strategy and innovation to personal development and company culture.
Exactly. These dialogues offer a practical lens through which to understand not just the language, but also the underlying values and priorities in an American business context.
And hopefully these insights will give you, our listeners, a clearer understanding of how these dynamics play out and how you can navigate similar situations in your own professional life.
On that note, here's a final thought for you. As we see this increasing convergence of data, technology, and social responsibility in the business world, how might your own approach to professional communication and relationship building need to evolve to stay effective and relevant in the years ahead?